Okay, we'll be dealing with this corrections for science, your booklet B. Okay, for the recent 3rd of March 2015 CT1. Okay, now let's take a look. Section B. Obviously, over here, these are the edges we are talking about. Okay, study the leaves carefully. Okay, the edges. Okay, so looped edges A, entire C. Entire means totally round, smooth, all right, without any in or outs. Okay, B is over here. Now let's take a look. What do they have in common? Network veins. Okay, vein patterns. They have this similarity. The vein patterns. Or if you have your answer as what do they have? They have in common. They are able to make food for the plant. Will still be acceptable. Okay. Now take a look. Network vein is this, and parallel vein pattern is like this, right? Straight, everything straight, parallel to each other. Okay, over here, once you have a diagram like this, it will be good, okay, for you to take note as how you start. Take note on the hints given here, right? The very first hint given here is feed. Okay, it means the intake of food, feed. Okay, and this living thing over here, it will be talking about, all right, living thing and food, or the way they feed. Okay, the feeding style. Okay, so how if these feed on other animals, okay, the snake, by eating, then over here it should be something to do with feeding. So this mushroom over here, they will feed by absorbing, okay, not by eating other animals, but absorbing nutrients from their host, okay, whatever they landed from their host. Okay, so this is E. And once it goes up here, now we're going to compare D and C, right? This is being compared already. Okay, right, we're going to get what is the characteristic between the D, okay, the labeling for D and C. Now over here we're talking about feeding, we're talking about food, right? Intake of food. Now what we can have here is plant. They don't have mouth, or they do not eat anything directly, or there's no feeding done. So what happens to the plants here is that they can make their own food. So under this category will be they make their own food, and this one most probably the opposite. You have to think of the opposite. They can't make their own food, or they feed on other things. Okay, C, make their own food. These are feed on other things or cannot make their own food. Okay, now so the suitable what do you call that, titles, okay, or the labeling for this: C, makes its own food, that is for the plant. Feed on other things, cannot make their own food. Okay, so this one, D, is feed on other things. Okay, then come to E, feed on organism, dead or alive. Okay, feed on living things which are dead or alive. For the mushroom over here, okay, they absorb them. Next, number 33, the group of animals are given over here. Classify them, and they are under animals. Okay, and this is how you going to do them. But it will always be good each time when you see some labeling like this of animals, state their characteristics, right? As you go on, these are the ones that lay eggs, although these lay eggs, but they are breathing. When they're young, they breathe through gills, and when they're older, they breathe through their lungs or their skin, right? For whale, they are mammals. Some are found in water, and this is on land. Okay, and mammals means that they give live birth, and their body covering is fur and hair. Okay, now of course the arrangement for the grouping will be like this: crocodile, snake, turtle, frog, quail, and rabbit. Okay, do the same for this. Each time you see some labeling like this with just the alphabet A, B, C, D, right, it will be good during exams to confirm your knowledge by placing this is flower, this you're going to be sure that this is the stem and these are the roots and so on. Take a look at the questions. From which part of the plant do the seed come from? Of course, there was a missing phrase here. It means from which part of the plant. All you need to do is just to state A, B, C, or D. Okay, the fruit come from the seeds, right, comes from the fruits. Okay, A. All right, the part A means flower. Flower change to fruit when they are being fertilized. The fruit, after the fruit, inside the fruits there will be seeds. Okay. Now Melissa removed all of one of the parts completely. It means this way. If she has to remove the roots, she will remove all of one of the parts. This is one of the parts. Okay, or if she has to remove the leaves, she will just pluck up all the leaves. But the leaves means one part of the plant. Okay, there are few parts. Okay, the leaf, the flower, the stem, the roots. So each time if they has to remove, let's say, the flower, every flower she sees, she will pluck it off. This is what it means. Okay, so she did them completely. After 1 week, the plant died, although she still watered the plant daily. Now over here, it means water. Water can no longer be absorbed or locked. Water can't be transferred, okay, or placed into the plant for the plant to live, right? Something to do with water. The most accurate answer will be D, the roots. All right, you cut the roots off, water will not be absorbed, the plant will die. Okay, however, during the examination, some answered with B or C will be accepted. Why? Because for example, once you cut the stem off, okay, which is a bit weird, just cut off the whole stem, okay, you left the leaf there, left the roots there, there's no connection to the plant. Okay, of course, the plant will not look like a plant, hence even the leaves left their own, they will die, right? So there will be no water, and even probably after photosynthesis, there may not be enough water for photosynthesis. Hence, still the plant will die, is doomed, right? Once you remove the stem immediately. Okay, and of course the other will be the answer B or D or C, right? These are the reason. If you answered B, the plant could not make food, right? You pluck out all the leaves, the plant could not make food. Next, if you state D, of course it could not absorb water, right? That is how you answer. It died because it could not do something, right, to receive air, food, or water. All right, in this case it's water. Okay, over here the plant could not have food and water transported to all parts. Why? Because simply you remove the stem. Why I put the asterisk here is because this is almost doomed. The plant, once you remove the stem, is very obvious that the plant will die, okay, as a whole. Next, Malcolm conducted an experiment shown below. He cut an opening, okay, this is the opening here, and there is no opening here, right? These two are separate plants and separate boxes, but these two boxes, they are made of wood. They have to be identical size, okay, and obviously the pot and the type of plant is identical. Now he placed the two potted plants, okay, as shown below. Then he sealed both boxes and placed them near the window. Okay, seal both boxes, place them near the window. All right, let us carry on to see what was the aim of Malcolm's experiment. Okay, You cover this, no light goes through. Wood is opaque, light will not pass through wood, same as this. But if an opening is here, obviously it is trying to show something, whether the plant is responding, how or whether the plant is responding to sunlight or to light. Okay, right? The probably the best answer is to see if plant do respond by growing towards the direction of the light. Okay, simply the experiment is all about this at this moment. Okay, not so much about air going in, because even inside here you seal it a little. Okay, air will still somehow seep inside. Okay, or there will be sufficient air here to last for a period of time. All right, now name another variable that Malcolm should keep constant for the experiment besides identical wooden boxes. Okay, the type of plant, to see if you just cannot have a kind of plant which is quite steep and a quiet plant which is quite what do you call that, flexible, and one of them could just respond better, and one of them could not even respond. This is not so fair. All right, it's not a fair test if you have different plants, different flower pots, and so on. Okay, so the amount of soil and water has got to be what do you call that, the same. Okay, you put the amount of water to the same, so there will be a fair test. Now let's take a look on top again. Okay, conduct experiment, cut an opening, place the two potted plants, identical wooden boxes as shown below. Then he sealed both the boxes and placed them near the window. Okay, when it's sealed, you must also take note that it need not mean that it's airtight. Okay, it just sealed to disallow light to pass through from some other parts of the box. Only allows light to pass through the opening. Let's take a look at the next one. Okay, in the diagram, draw how the plant or in the wooden box X would look like after 1 month. Okay, this is how you must be able to draw the plant tilting to one side to the opening where the light is. Right, let's carry on to number 36. The picture below showed pictures, okay, two pictures, a bread mold and a ladder fern. Okay, now take a look here very carefully. This is fungi, bread mold, and this is the plant. Okay, fern is a plant. Circle true for the statement that are true and false statement that are false. For okay, some facts about the bread mold and the ladder fern. Okay, number 1, both cannot make their own food. This is false because the plant can make its own food. Number 2 here, both are non-flowering plant. Yes. The ladder plant, the fern is non-flowering plant, but the bread mold is not a plant at all. Therefore, it is false. Both reproduce from spores. That is true. Now, Kenji made some mistake in the drawing of the life cycle of a cockroach, as shown below. Obviously, you must have this straight knowledge that cockroaches, they only have, yes, 3 stages in their life cycles. And this is wrong. Cockroaches, they do not have larva, okay, or pupa. They have nymphs. Okay, take a look. If the answer is written here as young, you'll be accepted. And this is the best answer here. Make sure your drawings for the arrows are correct. Okay, next, probably I'll just reduce the size of this, okay, to get more insight. Now we study the chart carefully. What this whole thing means, under the main heading, anything below here A, B, C, D, they must be animals. Okay, you got to be clear. All right, and the main heading is resembles the parents, and over this side horizontally the opposite, right? Does not resemble the parents. Okay, so going down, these are the group resemble the parents here. Watch out now. C belongs to here. C resembles parent, therefore I've written down here to make sure I do not get confused. Therefore during exams I would prefer to write something here, resembles parents, B resembles parents over here, and A also. Okay, now only for A it modes during the life cycle, so I place down here, and I know very clearly that B does not mode, C does not mode. Right? Does not mode during life cycle, so I just put it no molting, no molting. Now below here, both of them don't mold, but there's another difference. B lay eggs, okay, they group, and this one give birth to young, right? So I wrote this down this way, right? Now for this, they don't resemble, for D don't resemble parents, they will mold during their life cycle, and that is T. No other characteristic listed. Only when you've written this down, you'll be very clear. You will not answer your questions wrongly. Why? Because it can be quite confusing to see your eyes flowing from here to there, and you may not be able to, from your mental mind, okay, write the answer down correctly. So describe the characteristics of A. Over here, straight away A, I can describe by using this after what I have written down. A, the young resembles their parents, and they mold. Okay, see, they mold during their life cycle. All right, then which letter A, B, C, D represent the butterfly and the chicken? Well, this you need to have the knowledge that butterfly, all right, the caterpillar, they mold. Right, they have 4-stage life cycle, and their young do not look like the parents. For this case, the young look like the parents. Okay, so obviously for butterfly and chicken, it's quite easy. Okay, one of them resemble parents, right? The chicken will land over here. It can be either A, B, and C. Okay, for the butterfly, obviously over here. So straight away butterfly is D. Alright, it does not resemble the parents. And for chicken, you have to be a bit careful. Chicken, you know that they lay eggs, so they cannot be this. Alright, chicken lay eggs. Chicken cannot be here. Give birth to young alive, it could be here. Alright, then can chicken be in A? Now then you have to answer this question. Does a chicken, the animal, mold during the life cycle? No. So the answer is not this. It lands up to this: lay egg, do not mold, and they resemble their parents. Okay, so they have D and B. Let's carry on. Okay, now the lizard here is responding to the stimuli, right? The attack from the bird, okay, by dropping its tail and allowing the bird to handle the tail, and it escape, right, from the bird. Right? It's a sort of distraction, okay. Now, this tail left behind as it tries to escape being eaten by the bird. In which group of animals can the lizard be classified? And this is knowledge answer. You must know and spell properly. Reptiles. Alright, lizards, reptiles. Same group as the snakes, okay, and some other reptiles like tortoises and turtles. Now next, living things over here. What characteristics of living things does the lizard show? Okay, now if shown this, it responds to changes in its surrounding. or a living thing can move by itself. Either of the answer, but the better answer would be respond to changes, right? Because the lizard was actually responding, okay, to the threat, okay, by the bird, all right, okay, and it dropped its tails and it moved off, okay. C, state a similarity in the life cycle of both animals, and these three can be the answer. Both of them, the life cycle start with an egg or from an egg. Both young resemble their parents, or both have a 3-stage life cycle. Okay, that is the similarity in the life cycle. Remember the characteristic of the life cycle, but not so much of whether it has 2 legs or its body is filled with different outer covering. Not so much of that, but the life cycle, what stages they're going through and what are inside the stages. Next, 3-stage life cycle, tadpole, okay, frog, egg, okay, and this is butterfly. Pupa become butterfly, lay an egg, and back to larva again. All right, 2 cycles, 4-stage, 3-stage over here. State the similarity in the 2 life cycle. Both begin with an egg, one of the answers, and both youngs do not look like their parents. Okay, this is knowledge which you can just answer easily. Now state the difference between the 2 life cycles. Obviously this 3-stage, and this is the 4-stage life cycle. And of course the young, okay, one of them live in the water, the tadpole live in the water, and for the butterfly, not the larva or pupa, both of them are on land. Next is to draw a picture. This picture here below shows, okay, on one of the organism above. Now, some of you left out this above, okay, so you answer this question independently. It means you answered by itself as what you see. But if you have read this properly, okay, this refers to, okay, they are asking which, okay, life cycle does this larva belong to, and obviously you know that it belongs to the butterfly and not the tadpole. All right, the tadpole does not look like this, so the answer is the butterflies on top. Okay, not what is this, okay, it belongs either larva or whatever it is, we are not sure. Some of you wrote down moth, okay, but all you have to do is refer to this to which one. Obviously it's the butterflies. Okay, now the above organism T here shares its skin several times as it grows. What is the purpose of this process? Now, the best answer is by sharing its skin, it allows, okay, this organism, the larva, to grow bigger. Okay, organism T has to shed its skin to allow it, okay, its size, okay, to grow bigger, and thereafter it will grow new skins, okay, on top to protect its body. Now, if your answer to say it shares the skin, okay, by shedding, by having this, what do you call that, molting, shedding its skin, is to grow bigger, it is totally wrong. All right, we don't. The process of shedding skin is not to make it grow bigger. They are 2 total different process. Next. The graph here, read the top part very carefully. Okay, most of you, okay, would have read properly, and a handful of you left out this important word, dark room. Okay, when you left out this word here, has been left in dark room, most of you will get C wrong. Okay, now let's take a look. Let's answer first one. Okay, now before we answer, take a look. If the seed was placed in soil, was given air, water and warmth. Remember here, warmth means the right temperature for all the 10 days. While the seed is germinating, the height nothing, it started to germinate of course, but nothing is seen, nothing is visible until it starts growing here and it reaches a certain height. All right, the height to begin to stabilize, and over here it starts falling. All right, that is what it shows at this moment. Okay, now he recorded his observation of the growth of the seed in the graph as below, this way: height of the plant, number of days. Now from this above, from day 1 to day 2, look here, day 1 to day 2, okay, it's a flat line, straight line, it's not sloping up, right? It shows that the unit of growth is 0. You can just put 0, okay, or you may have placed as a 0 cm is fine. Okay, 0 means nothing visible, grown out of the seed, nothing seen, but it does not mean that the seed is not germinating, right? The roots could have been germinating, but there is somehow is growing downwards, it does not grow out of the soil, right, for you to measure the height. All right. B, what was the reason for the plant to be at that height in A? Right, watch out, 0. Why? Okay, so you just say the root might not be out yet, or the root might not have grown out onto the surface right above the soil level. Okay, now though the seed might have started germinating, okay, with the roots already out. So over here you might not see anything out from the soil, but the seed might have been out, right? Therefore this guy could not measure any height above the soil level. Now let's take a look at the third one. Please take note that the room remains dark. Okay, right, it's placed in dark room, remains dark. It means there will be no sunlight for the seedling, the new leaves to make food. Okay, so if it remained dark, right, the seedling at first would have taken its food from its seed leaves. Okay, but after that, when the seed leaves ran out of food for the seedling, okay, the leaves would have grown. However, okay, the seedling would eventually die as it could not have enough light to make food for itself. Okay, we can't say there is totally no light at all. Okay, in the dark room, maybe at some corners from the slits of the door, there could be very faint light coming in. Okay, if the light is not strong enough, that is why you could see from here, okay, the plant withers, okay, began to string. Okay, the height may have shrunken because there's not enough water, it gets dry. Okay, but of course with this, in the dark room without light, it would have been dead after a certain period of time, 10 days. Okay, 10 days after that. All right, that is the answer. Read over this and try to understand. Next, there are 4 different seeds. Can you see different types of seeds? Okay, now they are of different sizes also. Okay, each container has the same amount and type of soil. So to have a fair test, container same size and the type of soil same quality and same amount. Okay, the other thing you need to watch out is that the seed will be watered daily with equal amount of water. So the fair test is there. Only the thing that is not the same are the sizes and the different types of seeds. Okay, so Ronaldo recorded, right, the number of days it took for the shoot to appear. For A is 9, B is 3, and so on. Okay, now this means 9 days, this means 3 days. 3 days means this one grows, B grows faster. Now it will be a good habit for you to take this number and place on top here. Alright, to place on top here so you can see, alright, straight away that the smaller one took 3 days faster, and the larger it is 15 days. Can you see? 3 days, bigger, 6, bigger, longer, 9 days, and the largest 15 days. Okay, the longest to have the shoot appear here. That is what the experiment, okay, from here you can observe. Okay, now let's take a look at the questions. What is the purpose of the experiment? Okay, this is the one, to see, okay, how long it takes, right, or how fast the seeds of different sizes would take, okay, for the shoots to appear. Very simple. The relationship is the time for the shoot to appear from different seeds. 2, from the results as seen, okay, these numbers, the results, what is the relationship between the size, okay, and the time taken? Okay, as I've just mentioned, okay, when you place this, you can actually see this happening over here. The larger the seed, the longer time it takes for the shoot to grow. Okay, or similarly, the way you answer the other way around, the smaller the seed, the shorter it took for the shoot to grow. Okay, that is the relationship. Next, Ronaldo uses the same container, same amount of soil, and even the water, same amount of water. Alright, state another variable he should keep constant to make his experiment a fair test. The only answer we can find, or the only thing, is that the location has got to be the same. So to ensure the same kind of lighting, the same kind of what do you call that, the temperature is needed. Okay, so location determines that, right? If you put the same amount of water, no, because it has already been stated here, an equal amount of water has been already stated. That's what he has done. Okay, the other thing he must make sure he do, okay, he has to do is this. Okay, place the plant in the same location to ensure a fair test for his experiment. Next, 43. Now, Tarun conducted an experiment to find out whether the presence of light, okay, watch this, the presence of light, okay, will affect the growth of the seed. Now, over here, you must already have this knowledge, okay, that seed, you don't really, not necessarily, they need light to germinate, all right, into seedling, right? But only when a seedling sprout and it has its leaves, then they will need the light to photosynthesize, to make food, right? But when it is a seed, you don't need sunlight. Even if you place it in the open, in the probably place where there's light, it will still germinate, but it does not need that light. Okay, so we are talking about sunlight. That is why I circle here. Okay, to test whether the plant, how the sunlight will affect its growth. Okay, one should have more sunlight, the other should probably less sunlight, or one should have sunlight and the other should not have sunlight at all. So you see over here, this is needed, this container is needed to test. Okay, as is needed, all right, because to show without sunlight, and the other one we can choose is from R, T, and U, either one of them. The reason why this is being chosen is because to have a fair test, we must have the same presence of air, and the amount of water has got to be the same. Therefore, to answer the first question, which two containers he used if he wants to find out whether Sunlight will affect the growth of seed. Fine. One with and one without. Therefore, it is S and T. And remember, the rest has got to be the same. Amount of water, the same to have fair test. The presence of air, the same. Only these two are not the same to conduct the experiment. Next. Tarun repeated the experiment a few more times. Why did he do so? Okay, the best answer is sometimes the answer may your results. Okay, remember, it's talking about the results. It is not whether this thing works or not works, but it's the results. Okay, the results got to turn out that a plant don't need light to germinate, and plant also over here, whether you give light or don't give light, it germinate. Okay, now just to test, right, make sure you remember why we repeat an experiment is to ensure the reliability of the result, or to make sure that the sameness, the same kind of results will come out. Okay, right, because we put on a different kind of setting like this. Next, C. Right. Now, someone told Tarun that he should not conduct the experiment with container S with the conditions shown. Okay, because the seed cannot germinate in the dark. That's what he's trying to say. Okay. Thompson is not correct. Okay, this test is needed to be conducted to show that seed don't need sunlight. Okay, right. Therefore, you must put one of them in the dark and put one of them in the sunlight. Okay, right. And anyway, sunlight is not needed for seed to germinate. That is your answer. Okay, Thomas is not correct because sunlight is not needed for seeds to germinate, and the experiment you have to show, okay, that even there is sunlight, sunlight is not present, it will still germinate. Okay, now for the top here, of course, if you have the answer like this to ensure that the results are the same, okay, it is accepted. Right. Finally, John studied the life cycle of organism G shown below. This is obviously a fly with 4-stage life cycle: egg, larva, and pupa. Okay, hope you know the characteristic and the how they behave. Right. John classified this as an insect, obviously. Now, insect, this is knowledge. You must have this knowledge that insects, why animals are classified insects when they have 3 body parts and 6 legs. Okay, 3 body parts and 6 legs. Now, if you say these insect because it lay eggs, no, we can't accept that, because other animals like the chicken, the birds, okay, they do lay eggs. Okay, so anything that lay eggs, you call them insect? No, you can't. All right, you have to have the very distinct, very unique features of insect, which is these 2, 6 legs and 3 body parts. Okay, that is how you see it. Right, that is how John classified G as an insect. Next, now he studied the surrounding temperature of the life cycle of organism G, which is this, and he found out, right, that at certain temperature, right, if this insect lives in the temperature of 10 degrees, right, it takes 34 days, okay, for it to probably become an egg, going through the larva stage, pupa stage, and adult stage. Okay, it takes a longer time, and when it is at the optimum temperature, for example 30, it will take a shorter time. The lifespan is shorter. Okay, a life cycle goes through, one complete cycle is shorter. Okay, now let us take a look. That is what it means. What is the question? For John's finding, how would temperature affect the length of one complete cycle of this organism? Okay, take a look at this. It took organism more number of days. Can you see? More number of days, okay, to complete its life cycle at lower temperatures. The higher the temperature, the lesser number of days. Okay, the more number of days, can see increasing. Okay, if the temperature is lower, as it goes lower, the more number of days it takes to complete its life cycle. Right, hope you learn how to answers your question this way, short and easy, and able to look at numbers to see, okay, where the number flow. Thank you.